everybody, and welcome to this week's podcast YouTube little catch up with me, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. So, busy week. Let's kick off with what's been happening. So it has been a busy week and it's lovely. Thursday I did a talk on numerology at the wonderful Horndean Positive Living Group. It was the first time I've done a talk there with Anne, and it was on numerology, and it's such a fascinating subject, numerology. Numbers play big parts in all our lives. You think of obviously the clocks, the phones, but also how many times do we see a number repeated? 111, 222, angel numbers, or number plates, and just house numbers. We keep moving to the same house number, or we meet people with the same birthdays as us. So numbers play a big part. So I really enjoyed doing this talk on how numbers affect your life and also guide you into the right pathway. And what was really interesting was most of them there, I've just had 111 come up, most of them there resonated not just with the numbers but also with their plan of their life choices, what they're doing in their life. It literally was like, you're on the right path, this is what you should be doing. And for some of those that have been and ahhing, it was like, oh okay, this is what I should be doing. So numbers play a really big part. Now there is a free download on numerology on my website at the moment. I am having, just go to the resources part, I think, but there is also a little course you can do. It's £22. So if you want to know how to do all your numbers, work it all out, you can buy the course at £22. I am revamping things on my site, and it will take quite a few months to do that. So eventually there will be different things on the free resources, including numerology, but that's where you can, if you want to understand how your lives are impacted by numbers, names for businesses. When I chose my business name, I'd just come out of a divorce, and I looked at my numerology, and I didn't want to carry his name forward because I knew that I was going to grow. And I looked at my maiden name, and it just felt like it was an old version of me when I looked at the meaning. So I came up with a new business name of what I wanted to merge into, the energy that I wanted to step into and manifest. So business names, it's really, really cool for working out where you want your business to go to. So I did that Thursday. I also Thursday had a lovely chat with, I'm not going to say too much. I've been told not to say too much. Let's just say I've got another book coming out. Exciting. And it will be very different to some of the things I've already produced, but also similar. So I'll be talking more nearer the time once that's a little bit more launched there. I did something else in the week. We had an amazing group on our Tuesday group, amazing healing session. The healing, I love teaching healing. Tuesday at our development group, we do a different divination, something different each week. And this week it was healing, and it was just magical. The energy that group brings, I love it. We've got, I think, 4 more weeks left, if I'm right, and then we have a few weeks break. We're going to have a little bit longer this time because it's the summer holidays, and then the next 10-week one will start. So if you want to be in for a shout to come to that for 10 weeks and to learn, we do different things. 1 minute we might be doing tarot, the next week we might be doing healing, the next week we might be doing pendulum, we might be doing mediumship, psychic. We mix it all up, and I run it with my husband Colin Flaherty. So he takes 1 week, I take the other week. So that's most likely going to be towards the end of August is the one after this one there, unless we miss everyone too much and we start it a little bit earlier. But if you want to be in for a shout, just sign up to my newsletter on my website, and you can you'll be fast to hear, or join my Facebook group, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. Now we've got some things going on this week in the planets and in the stars. We have the planet Mars, and it's square Uranus. So what does that mean? Anything that's square, even in Feng Shui, anything that's square as a point. So it's going to be a bit sharp. It's going to be square in astrology means it's a bit challenging. It's not as smooth as some of the other aspects. Now, Mars is the planet of, we've already started it, by the way. Mars is the planet of force, of power. Yes, it is anger and war, but it's also passion as well. It's drive. And when we have this force square, so not comfortable, going into Uranus. Uranus is the planet of big changes, sudden changes, and expanding your thinking to new ways of doing things. So it has a really good aspect, but Uranus can also mean that sudden changes, and sometimes we're not comfortable with them all. Uranus is very expansive, but it's also for about the bigger cause here. So we're going to have to do a bit of trusting. Now, depending on where it sits predominantly in your chart, it could affect any area. So it could be sat in your work area, it could be sat in your home area, your family area, your love life area. It could be sat anywhere there. And you know, you can put in a free astrology chart into Google and type in your time of birth, date of birth, place of birth, and it will come up and it will tell you. And to get all the nitty gritty parts there, it's good to have a little session with an astrologer anyway. But Mars in Uranus, square Uranus, is going to bring some change. It's going to bring some change, and perhaps some of that sudden and a little bit chaotic. So what can you do about that to help ease you through as far as Feng Shui is concerned and manifesting? Well, it could be any of those areas. So what you could do is, you've got these cards here. Now, if you're feeling something bumpy, I would use the Wheel of Fortune, because it is about change, but it's a positive change. So you could pinpoint an area and then work out. I've got a free map download on my website under Feng Shui resources. You could use that map and find out where your 9 areas of the home are. Let's just say, for example, it's in your work for the north area. You know that you're just going to have some big changes there that are forced and you might feel uncomfortable. Well, pop the Wheel of Fortune there, because the Wheel of Fortune is going to help with that change. It's going to have a more positive aspect to it, and just move you into a place where you feel opportunities will come from this. So you can use the Wheel of Fortune as a really good affirmation card. And I heard something this week, like I use a lot of manifestation and tarot for manifestation. And what I heard, which I thought, yes, that's it. So tarot cards, affirmations, crystals, objects, they are kind of like, well, they're the intention, if you like. They're the intention of what you want to bring in. Feng Shui is the activation of it. So Feng Shui will absolutely activate that area. So if you've got remedies, it's going to really enhance it there. If you've not got remedies and you're going through some blocks around your home, you can contact me easily enough and we can do a home analysis. Not a problem. And I don't have to come out to your house either. It can be done remotely. A lot of people get freaked out thinking, oh my God, I don't want someone coming around because it's messy or there's lots of clutter here. Yes, that does make a difference, but I don't have to see any of it. We can do it remotely there. So I'm not going to be judging, but it's a non-judgmental service anyway, because we've all got some kind of clutter. And actually, I did put a post up about the emotional effects of clutter. I've diversed here, haven't I, from astrology. The emotional effects of clutter, sometimes it's through grief, sometimes it's through hanging on to parts of yourself that are the past, that you're not ready to move forward with. Maybe you've got clothes that belong to the old you, but you haven't quite stepped into the new you yet. So we're hanging into the past. So sometimes it's quite an emotional journey. So it's not just, I'm not just going to say, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of that. We have to do a bit of work. There, you know, sometimes there's some healing work. Anyway, I have to digress. So Feng Shui, it activates what the manifestation and the tarot put in place there. So I would put the Wheel of Fortune wherever you're feeling a bit of a bumpy ride this week. So let's have a look at the cards, the tarot cards that connect to Mars and Uranus. So we have the Tower. Now, the Tower is ruled by the planet Mars. So Mars, like I said, chaotic, forceful, power, destruction, but passion as well. It's not all bad, Mars. However, when it's square, it is going to be a bit challenging. Now, the Tower card is about breakdown. We break everything down, and in that, the dust needs to settle before we can rebuild it again. So the Mars aspect here is like the Tower. Oh my goodness, it's all of a sudden, everything's just falling apart, but maybe it needs to fall apart. And I'm going to move on to that in a second, actually, because sometimes the universe needs us to have a wake up moment. They need us to have that Tower moment because we want something else to come in. We have Uranus, which is ruled by the Fool. Now, the Fool and Uranus is the planet of change, unexpected change, adventures as well, movement. And in the Fool, we've got taking a leap of faith and going from one stage to another, adventures, starting all over again. And all of a sudden, kind of being like, sod it, we're just going to do it. We're not going to listen to what everyone else says. We're following our own originality. We're being independent. We've got freedom. So sometimes the breakthrough is going to give us that freedom. And that's where I feel that Mars squaring Uranus, there's a bigger picture going on. So although it might feel a bit uncomfortable, there's a bigger picture. And what can come from this is breakthroughs. The Ace of Swords, this is excellent here. So again, you can put that with your Wheel of Fortune. Now, if you're in the career area, this could be new contracts coming in. This could give you breakthroughs of new ideas around your work. That's going to help you push forward through these changes. Let's just say it's in your relationship. Your relationship is going through this maybe change. You've got that in the particular 7th house, say. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. We want this to be a positive change. Either, whether we're sticking, whether we're going, we want it to be some kind of positive change. So we want the Wheel of Fortune. The Ace of Swords is going to really help us with that focus of like, we've got a goal and we're going for it. We're not bothered about the change that's coming in. It also helps us to cut ties. So in relationships, sometimes I see a lot of people that are in a toxic relationship and they know they've got to get out of it, but they just can't. So this is going to really help you to cut those ties and to really shift the energy and move forward so that you can break out of something that's not healthy for you. What about if it's in your money area? What about if it's in the 2nd house? So in the northeast area is your money area, and the Wheel of Fortune is obviously fortune and expansion. The Ace of Swords here is going to help you have new focus, so that Mars in Uranus may shake things up a bit and may make you feel a bit wobbly around your money, but the bigger picture is that we've got a new idea or clearer thinking to go forward to be able to create something better there. There's always going to be a choice around it. So I would say with Mars squaring Uranus this week, hold on to your seats a little bit, but also ride it out and think outside the box a little bit. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. We've got choices in life. So try and think, what is the universe telling us? What's the universe telling us? Now, talking of what the universe is telling us, I'm going to tell you a little story that's happened this week and that happened to me ages ago, which I've shared before. So apologies if you've heard this little bit before. Now, sometimes I get asked about free will and destiny. What's the difference? Do we really have free will? Are things really destined? Yes, no. So here's the thing, what I believe. There are certain things that are absolutely destined for us. I think when we're on the right page, when we're in the right job, in the right relationship, everything flows harmoniously. It's easy. It's not difficult. There's not too many challenges because you're in the right time and right space. When things are challenging, for me, it's either the universe saying, "Ooh, we're going to do something to rev things up a little bit there," or it's not in alignment with your soul. So therefore it's challenging. You're doing something perhaps that your soul doesn't want you to do, or that doesn't serve you. It's not feeding your soul. And this is like easier said than done, because I get it. Some people are in a really, maybe a heavily paid job, but it's shit and they need the money. So I get it. But you know, if you don't like your job, work a ways of how perhaps you can pay off some debt, or ways that you maybe don't need to have that much money, so that you can do something that you enjoy better. As an example, off track again. So when I built my tarot business, and I didn't plan it at all, and I've said this before many times, I didn't plan it. It found me, as much as in I already had my own cards. I actually had Feng Shui when I was 15. It's something I've always been into, astrology forever. So it's always been there forever. The interest in all of this has been there for as long as I can remember. It's like I was born like looking around, and you know, I'm a 9 in numerology, which is philosophy and deep understanding. Like, we want to ask the question, yeah, but why? How does that work? What does this do? So I've always had a big interest in it, but it wasn't until my 30s that I actually really started doing something about it. So 20 years ago now. And with the tarot, I didn't plan to set up the business. In fact, I gave up. I was a retail manager, and I gave up my job to be a stay-at-home mum. Just started to have my children in my early 30s. And then somehow there was a plan that was already set out. I did have my cards done by a lovely lady. She's dead now, Sylvia Sims. If anyone's local, they know her. And at 20, she told me that I would be doing the cards. And I thought, you're off your rocker. No way. I wouldn't have a clue. Plus, I was really shy then, believe it or not. So, when I got into my late 30s, I was like, yeah, I remember that lady saying it. Maybe she wasn't off her rocker. Anyway, I had been working towards trying to get a little bit of money because I wasn't working. I'd had the children. The husband at the time was very good at spending money on things that weren't family focused, shall we say. So I had to do something, and I was doing Better Wear, Clean Easy, and Chocoholics. I've shared this before. And then I didn't want to go to this baby group that people that the house visitors kept saying, go to this group. I was like, no. And then in the end, a friend said to me, would you take my daughter? She doesn't want to go on her own. So I was like, look, I'll go once. Once I've been, I'm not going to go again. I ended up staying. I loved it. Went forever for the next few years. Become very good friends with a lot of them. Still am. Anyway, my point is, once I got there, I started chatting to a couple of ladies. They found out that I was Reiki trained, that I was a beauty therapist. Do you want to bring your couch in, do the treatments on the parents while we look after the kids? Yep, I take my flyers in. They're like, oh, you do this, you do that. We do tarot, we do angel cards. I said, oh, I got tarot. Bring your cards in. Started working on the mums, just giving a few little readings here and there. Then they were like, could you come around our house? So every few months we'd go around, do a little party. That turned into once a month, and then every few weeks, and then every week. And that went on for about 18 months. And then I thought, I better train this properly and stop reading the book. So I went, and that's how my business became my business. And I honestly believe that the universe had a plan for me to do this, because it wasn't difficult to set up. I've been so lucky, touch wood, fortunate since day one that I've had regular clients. And obviously I do advertise, and I do a lot of social media, so that helps. But generally I've been very, very lucky with it. And it wasn't something that I'd planned, but I've just seen 1717. So the universe had its thing. So I do believe that although we've got free will and things are destined, I was obviously destined to do this because it's come fairly easy. Business is built fairly easy. And somehow that destiny, I was meant to go to those toddler groups there. Now, in my past, I would love to do, when I die, I'm going to do one of those checking in. Like, if I took that door, which way would I go? Like sliding doors. I've got a few sliding door moments. So I'm going to check in and see what path that might have turned into when I die. But I could see over the years, there were pockets where it could have come back up again. In my 20s, there was a few things there, but I didn't go down that road. I was tempted to go into the spiritual things. I was like, no, I'm going to party instead. So there was definitely a push me, pull me going on for many years. But it took me doing something for somebody else to get me into it. So the universe was like, we're going to do whatever we can. We will get you there somehow. Now, my point of the story is, so free will for me is like, you choose the direction that you want to go in. Your destiny is like, we're going to get you there, but you get to choose how you get there, if you like. Things are planned to a certain degree, but it is your choice whether you go down A road, A, B, that road, that way. You'll still experience everything that you needed to experience, but on a different level. So if you needed to experience grief, happiness, soul connections, you'll still experience them, but in a different way if you went down that road to if you went down that road there. And we all kind of meet at the end, and that's where the destiny is. We get to where we need to go. That's my kind of understanding of it, if you like. So there's no such thing as the wrong path, because you'll still experience what you need, but in a slightly different way. However, certain paths are slightly easier than others. They're not as bumpy there. And sometimes it's the spirit world like throwing stones at us. Like, hello, said this last week. We want to get you off. But this is my point. Now, I saw a lady this week, and it was, I felt so good for her. So she... sometimes I'll do vouchers for charities. And this lady came to me and I said, have you ever had a reading before? Nope, never had it. Okay. Did the reading, and her mum came through quite strong. And her mum, beautiful energy. She'd only just passed not long ago. I believe the funeral was only a few weeks back. And the information that the mum gave me, this lovely lady was very emotional with it. She told me the words that were said to her and how it was said at her passing on a hospital bed. She told me about the nails that the daughter had just painted for her to be laid to rest. She told me about that she was cremated and what to do with it, which was a conversation that they'd only just had the day before, and other things going on. Very good communicator, this lady. And this client here was very overwhelmed with it, but in a good way. And there was other things that was coming up to do with her general life as well. Anyway, when we'd finished, she said, I can't remember how it first got pulled up, but she said that she'd won the voucher. She was the lady that had won the voucher, and she was never ever going to be going to a reader. She'd not thought about having her cards read or seeing anyone. It wasn't on her mindset, and she had so much help and confirmation, and just the experience really, really helped her. And it was exciting for both of us, because I was like so pleased that her mum could connect, and that what I was saying with the cards was all very relevant, but also that she won it. That could have been anyone that won it, but it happened to be her, and the link was so strong with her mum. It was really quite magical. And I believe, and I said this to her, you were meant to win that. You were meant to come. You were meant to go to that raffle. You were meant to buy the ticket. You were meant to pick it up, and you were meant to win it. And there was a lot of people at this party where this raffle was. It was a charity do. And her mum had only just passed, or was passing, I can't remember now, literally over the time that this party was. So she was still luminary to go to that because of the situation, but she did. I am convinced that the universe, spirit world, whatever you want to call it, got her there, got that voucher in her hand so that she would be able to have a reading, get some closure, but also get some really good communication and understanding about situations there and connections to her mum. Had she not have got that, she said it wasn't on her mind. So I know the fact they kind of know before we do, really. They will navigate the energy and manipulate things to make sure that we are in the right space at the right time. There is no such thing really as missed opportunities. If something is meant to pass you by, it will. If something is meant to not pass you by, it will come back round, without a doubt. That lady was definitely sent at the right time to have that, and it just got me thinking, like, how amazing if we can just step back a little bit and breathe and trust the process there. Everything will be how it should be. Everything will be all right. And if it's not all right, it's all part and parcel of what we got to do, but it will still be all right. It will still be all right eventually there. And there will be certain signs that a lot of people get, whether it's a feather, whether it's a number, whether it's a coin, whether it's certain music being played. There will be certain signs that are around if you're open enough to hear or see them. But most definitely, they will work and try and support you. They don't want us to have a tough life. They don't want us to learn through challenges and difficulties. We do that. They try and give us the best support that they can, but we're not always listening. And even those people that are saying, like, but I only ever do good and I'm always in a bad place, or I've always got this challenge, I'm wondering if there's things around you that you still could do to help things a little bit better there. Or maybe reach out and get some help and support. Maybe you don't need to struggle on your own. Maybe you just need to go to the right person and get some help, or some guidance there, or whether it's, I don't know, what's coming into my head as estate agents. So maybe if you're looking to move and you're like just not in a place where you want to live, and you think, I can't afford this or I can't afford that, and I don't want to move to that area and I don't want to move to that area, then you're doing a little bit of a block yourself there. But maybe an estate agent, because that's what's just come to my head, can help you there. Just go and talk to them. But be open to what is around you. And I know for sure that I had a few of those moments in my 20s where I could have gone onto this pathway. I loved my 20s. It was a right rocking time. So I think I would have missed out on some fun. So I know that I wasn't meant to go on it there, but I certainly had the option to go down that pathway. I was offered a job as a masseuse at one point. I think I was about 20 then. If I'd have took that job, I would have definitely gone down the holistic field and more of the spiritual field in my early 20s instead of 30s there. But clearly I wasn't meant to, because otherwise I would have done. But the opportunity was not meant to pass me by, because it came back round several times. And I still kept saying no to certain things, but it eventually caught me, came back round. And that's when I was taken to the toddler group and got into all of this lady. Maybe she was given some signs before, I don't know. But at that time, she was right place, right time to get that voucher. So I wanted to share that because I just think they're really magical. And if we work in tune with the spirit world, which is going to work in tune with our soul, if we don't stress so much and if we just try and do things that we enjoy a little bit more, that enjoyment is going to raise our vibration. When we raise our vibration, the spirit world and the universe and universal energy, even if you don't believe in the spirit world, but the universal energy cannot help but be fed off our vibration. You literally are what you attract. What you send out, you get back. End of. So when you raise your vibration up in your game and are open to magical things, honestly, magical things will happen. So I wanted to share that experience this week. So I want to also, before we finish up, let me talk to you about holidays and travel, seeing as we're coming into that time of year where a lot of people are traveling now or planning their holidays. And some of you might think, I want a holiday, but I haven't got any money. Oh, I have another story with that. Maybe I'll share that another day when we talk about coincidences, actually. I'm going to do that. We'll do that next week, coincidences. I might even bring in Mr. Flower, because when we talk about coincidences, how we got connected, but also he has this magical story. So yeah, I might bring him in next time and talk about that. Anyhow, what I was talking about, money for travel. So in Feng Shui, manifestation, here we go. Your southwest area is connected to travel. So what do we want to put? We want to put a globe. Some of the things that when you think about it, it just makes sense. Or a map. Now, here's the thing. Remedies, like I said, are the activation of it. So putting a map or a globe in that area helps to activate the energy. But it also works on a vibrational manifesting energy. Because if you're seeing something a lot of the time, like a vision board, then it's in your mind, so then it becomes more of a reality. Now, I've been thinking about, although I went to Amsterdam last month, I've been thinking about some holiday trips, and I hadn't put, I'll go forward and back, ADHD. I hadn't put my remedy, I hadn't put the map and the globe in my northwest. I put the remedies, but I'd not put the map and the globe. Now, I was fully aware that I needed to do that, but I also work very strong on my intuition. So I know the right times when to do things and when not to do them. Not all the time, but most of the time. So I know when it was right for me to put that map out, and I knew when it wasn't. So it'd been in my head, I know I need to print a map off. I know I need to get a globe there. And what I found when I did do it, when the timing was right, when I put it there, I'm seeing it all the time. Now, because I'm seeing it all the time, it's reminded me, oh yeah, you want to book that holiday. Oh yeah, you wanted to book that trip. So it has that feeling, whatever the manifestation energy is, whatever the tool is that you're using to create that, because it's in my northwest area, I know it's travel, I know it's working for me, but it's reminding me. And since then, I think I've booked 2 holidays since I've had it up, maybe 2 or 3 trips, shall we say, there. One of them is going to be New York. How exciting. So there is the energy that you will see like a vision board, so it becomes more of a reality. And there is the activation that the Feng Shui will build. So in your northwest area, we want to put travelling cards, don't we? Now the 6 of Wands is a great travelling card. It's about coming home with victory, coming home with success, certainly coming home safely. That's what we all want. So if you're going away, or you're a bit concerned about travel, or you've got loved ones that are going away travelling, my boys are in Spain right now, so I have some cards up to do with bringing them back safely, and some crystals. Tiger's eye is really good, and affirmations. So like, I'm bringing them back safely. The 6 of Wands helps with that. It's about a travel, going away, but coming back with good news. If you're going away on business, this is an excellent card to have in your northwest area, because you're coming home with some good news. You're coming home with the results. 8 of Wands, travel. 8 of Wands, opportunities, fast movement. If you're a little bit, I'm indecisive, I really want to go, but I'm not too sure, put this there, because your mind will be made up and things will start to happen. Boom, boom, boom. And it might be as quick as next week. But the 8 of Wands is great for travel, and again, opportunities. So again, for business opportunities, work opportunities, this card is, you're going to be flying high with it. Naturally, we want the world. Travel, right? So naturally, we want the world. So the world in the northwest area, it's going to be great. We also would like the sun. Even if you go into a cold place, we still want the sun, because the sun brings happiness, abundance, particularly if we're going on holiday with families. Yes, it would work more if you are going to a sunny place, but it is about happy time, fun and freedom, and just letting your hair down and enjoying that holiday. Knight of Wands is a go-getter. Sagittarius energy, travellers. So you want to get somewhere, you want things to start happening. If things have been a bit slow in the travelling, let's put the Knight of Wands and possibly the 8 of Wands. Things are really gonna heat up there. And the Chariot, which is my favourite card, is again a card of travel but coming home. It's ruled by Cancer, which is the home card, the home astrology sign. So the Chariot in the travel area will bring about a safe homecoming for you or your loved ones, whoever it is that you want there. So these are some cards that you can pop up. You don't have to put all of them up, but here's some that you can use. The images and the energy is the manifestation, and the Feng Shui is the activation. So we want to activate and manifest this beautiful energy in the southwest if you want to bring in some travel opportunities there. Now money, if we need money to do all of this, check out your southeast area, because that's where you've got your money. Hopefully you've got your wealth ball, which I spoke about before. That is the area that you want to activate to get your money. If you want more, message me and we'll get in a free discovery call to have a look at a full Feng Shui analysis. So there you have it. That's pretty much it for this week. Next week, what's happening next week? So I've got a new networking meeting I'm quite excited to go to. I must get on I'm starting tonight actually, the book. Yeah, I've got my regular clients, whoever's booked in, I have no idea, this week. So if you do want to book a reading, you can either go to my website, katemay.co.uk, and book online, choose your date, time, whatever suits you. You can book direct. If you don't use PayPal, you can message me with that date and time and we can do it manually. My favourite spread is the Feng Shui spread. We look at all your home as well as all the different areas which could be causing you blocks. Love life, money, work, spiritual, health. So I love that spread. I also do like the business spread as well. So if you're in a bit of a pickle with your business, that's a great spread. And the general, in fact, I love all of it. I flipping love all of it. I'm living my best life. So let's have a look at just a general guide message. On my YouTube channel, Kate May Modern Day Mystic, you do have the week ahead. That's already up and running. So you can go to that and check that out. It's a travel card. Six of Swords, moving into calmer waters. This week's vibe is about trusting the process. I'm sure I said that. Trusting the process, going from one stage to another. Something better is coming. It's like the grass is greener, or the waters are calmer. The transitions, the changes. So certainly as we have that Mars square Uranus, we might have a bit of a ride going on, but it will lead into something that is going to be better for us in the long run. So trust the process. Know if you're in a bit of a tricky situation, reach out for help and support. The help is there, and the help might come along in unexpected forms with this card as well. But for me, this is like somebody's going to try and take you from one stage to another, or help you get out of a spot, even if you're a little bit about that. It's moving into calmer waters, a positive transition. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Have a fabulous week. Dust off that northwest area. Let's get some travel going for you guys, and check in with your southeast. We have next Saturday the biggie. If you're in Portsmouth, we've got a big Mind Body Spirit Fair at the Gaiety Suite. I will be doing readings there. It's not run by myself, but I've partnered up, I've collabed with somebody there. So we've got music and lots of other stalls going on down on the pier. There's also summer solstice on that day. What a magical day. So things that you can do in summer solstice. I probably should have spoke a bit more about that really. But if you go on to my page, Kate May Modern Day Mystic, or my group, Facebook group, Kate May Modern Day Mystic, we'll put a few things in there. In a nutshell, the summer solstice is like the turning of the wheel. It's the longest day of the year here for us. And it's about, for me, we check in. What have you been doing for the last 6 months? Are your goals on track? So have a look where you were in January. Are you on track of things? Do you need to have a bit of a wriggle room? Do you need to redo something to get you back on track? Or maybe you've changed your mind. Maybe you've outgrown that version that you were 6 months ago, and you want to be doing other things. You've got different visions, different goals. The Rising Phoenix picture, if you've done my Feng Shui and you've listened to me rambling for months, the Rising Phoenix, which is a beautiful Rising Phoenix picture, which you can print off, have women particularly, have it in the south of your area of your home. If you've done that already and you've wrote your affirmations, check on the back, or your manifestations, check on the back, tick them off. The 21st of June is a very good time to redo that. Print off another one, write down some fresh manifestations, and get that set up in the south. A picture of the Rising Phoenix that's coming out of the flames. Very particular, very powerful for women particularly. But it's very good to set, again, that tone to remind you we're bringing in all this abundance. So the 21st of June is like a reset, a check-in. Are we on track? Do we need to change things? Are we happy with life? What do we need to do if we're not? Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.